everybody. Oh, yeah, everybody. Live from my quarantine closet, it's Patrick M. Dunn with a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all your favorite TV series from yesteryear and discuss it over a cool glass of Fresca. And I'm joined here by my lady friend, Kat Halstead, the author. Welcome back.
Hello.
I wildly mixed up the intro today, so I saw all the puzzled look on your face.
I haven't been called whoa man. I'm like, whoa, I like this better.
You like lady friend better than whoa man?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have a vote. We'll put a Twitter poll. Follow us at Very Podcast on Twitter. Should I call Kat my right hand whoa man, like Joey Lawrence whoa dash man, or lady friend? I don't know. Lady friend kind of sounds like I'm implying that you're like a hooker for some reason. I don't know why. It's
my God.
It's like Hugh Grant and his lady friend were caught last night.
I love that that's the what you go with.
Well, he was like notoriously arrested for picking up a hooker. Wasn't he? Was that Hugh Grant? I feel like it was.
Yeah, that was Hugh Grant. I just, like, that's where your brain is. Like, other people would try to think of somebody else. You're like, Hugh Grant!
Where else would I go?
From the 90s.
Where else would I go?
I don't know.
All right. Yeah, as I said, this is the podcast. We talk about all your favorite TV series. Everything. Even ones you've never heard of, probably. Like this one. Like,
okay, I'm gonna say, I bet people have heard of it, they just didn't watch it.
All right, so we're doing a little known, I wouldn't call it a little known show. It was fairly popular. I mean, I watched it here and there. I dabbled a bit. We're doing a show called Rock, R-O-C.
Yeah.
That aired on Fox from, the early 90s. What was it, like 91 to 94 or something like that? 92 to 94, 91 to 94, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
So this was a show that starred Charles S. Dutton as Charles Rock Emerson. He was a garbage collector.
Yes.
His wife, who, I don't know, I love Eleanor in the show for some reason, played by Ella Joyce. Mm-hmm. She was a nurse. She's a nurse, right?
Yes.
Official career.
And, like, she's got the classic nurses kind of outfit in this.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not how nurses dress today. So,
no, I don't even think
you know.
Yeah, I don't even think they dressed like this in the 90s, but I don't know. This is style they went for.
This is, like, when that kind of style was easing out.
Okay, I feel like maybe some places held on to it. You probably had some like older administration that just held on to these older values, and then you had these like hot new baby boomers taking over the management roles.
Because there's like one point during ER where the nurses union and the hospital are having like trouble. They're like, the hospital's cutting the nurses' hours. And so they're, like, bringing in, like, temp nurses from an agency. And I remember Carol signed up to be a temp nurse with the agency to make more money because her hours got cut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because those, like, temp agencies make more.
So she had to wear it, like, when she was on duty as a temp with the agency in the ER, she had to wear, like, a totally different, like, nurse's uniform, which was, like, the dress type.
Oh, yeah. Like something you'd see in like a 1950s, 40s like movie that involves a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. A stan. Maybe if you watched like the first episode of General Hospital on ABC in like 1963 or whatever year it premiered.
Yeah.
You probably saw a hot nurse wearing that little
Nurse Jessie.
Yeah, Nurse Jessie. Shout out to Nurse Jessie. Rounding out the cast, we also have Rock's brother, Joey, who's kind of like, he's like a freeloader. He just kind of lives there, doesn't pay rent. He's a musician, I think. Mm-hmm. He doesn't work.
I mean, there's always one of those on a sitcom. Always.
He's like the Joey Gladstone, I think, of the Rock universe.
Yeah. Joey really did work, didn't he?
Well, I think at some point he got like his little woodchuck show, but prior to that he just kind of.
Wait, no, you know what? He and Jesse were in advertising for a while.
Oh yeah, they were Mad Men.
Didn't they have like a radio show too?
Oh yeah, the Rush Hour Renegades.
Yeah.
You know what? They were probably just like, people probably were writing, complaining that, Joey didn't do anything. We need something for Joey to do. So like every year they just gave him a hot new job. Like, all right, this year he's going to be an advertising executive. He's going to make the new McCann Erickson San Francisco wing.
Joey's career was a stand-up comic.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you're really a successful stand-up comic, you're not really around much.
Well, I guess that's kind of like Joey Rock's brother, who's a musician.
Yeah.
Good for him, I guess. I guess good for him for lasting so long in the Emerson household. Great for him. And then special shout out to Carl Gordon as Pop Emerson, Rock's dad. A retired railroad porter who still lives in the house. He just kind of hangs out. He's kind of like the comic relief, so to say.
Yeah.
He just kind of comes in, says these dumb one-liners, and takes off. Doesn't really add too much, to be honest with you. To this episode, anyway.
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out about the show, I sent you a hot DM last night at like 2 a.m. when I was watching this. Mm-hmm. I was like, the Emerson living room looks very suspiciously similar to the All in the Family, the bunker living room.
When I was watching it, I remember thinking, this living room looks really familiar. It's a very classic setup for a TV living room, though. You get
the front door, you walk in, there's a little, like, mud step, I guess is what we call it. They just kind of walk in, there's a closet, you can hang your coat. Mm-hmm. Immediately to the right, you have the little, the little corner stairs that go up. Then you got the couch. It's kind of set up to similar to the couch and chairs are set up to the same way like the bunkers had it. And then you have that little dining area in the corner. It just looked exactly like the bunker house, just redressed. To me.
I don't think so. Not exactly like the bunker house.
I don't know.
I would say it looks more like Mama's family's house.
Yeah, it's been a hot ass minute since I've seen Mama's Family, but I don't know, the bunkers are freshly on my mind. I was watching an episode last week, so.
Okay.
I mean, it might not be the same exact size, but it's just set up eerily similar to it. And then even when they went to the bar in the episode later on, even the bar looks like the bar that Archie Bunker owns in that like sequel series, Archie's Place. So I was just like, maybe they had some sets like hanging around, and they just kind of like,
They do reuse old sets. We see it all the time.
Yeah, it's like the girl in Paint's house is the Hanging with Mr. Cooper house in like the first episode of Cooper or something.
Yeah, but like also with like soap operas, we'll see the same sets. Like there are definitely like sets from like Surf Central from Sunset Beach was then later Crazy Beth's place on Passions.
Crazy Beth. Shout out to Crazy Beth. Friend of the show.
Yeah, you know.
Tweet us, call us.
She kept Sheridan in a ditch for like forever while she was pregnant, and poor Mackenzie Westmore can't stand the scent of Febreze now because of it. Two Broke Girls used the Monica and Rachel's apartment set. Just painted.
Yeah. I was like, I knew they had some Friends affiliation. Yeah.
I remember watching the episode, I'm like, the set looks familiar, but like, I'm like, that window, and I'm like, and then they're like walking around the apartment. I'm like, oh my God. And my boyfriend at the time was like, what? I'm like, that's Monica and Rachel's apartment from Friends. He's like, how do you know that? I'm like, iconic window. I'm like, this is it. It's just white now instead of purple.
He's like, okay, who cares? Who cares, Cat Halstead? Television studios, they just fold those sets up. They just pop them into a little storage shed. And someone's just, we need to recreate, we need like an extra bedroom real quick. And they just kind of pull out like Lucy and Ricky's bedroom real quick and unfold it and just throw in some beds. Yeah, they can pop up this shit in like a weekend.
They do that really easily. And they have like a bunch of sets, and then they'll just like repaint it. So you're not like, oh, right away, that's Monica and Rachel's apartment. You have to like really be like paying attention to be like, oh, you know what I mean?
Just throw up some new posters and get some new knickknacks to hang on the wall. Mm-hmm. You know what? Everyone's going to remember that little Felix the Cat eyeball back and forth clock. We'll put something different there. How about that? How about we'll put a little, one of those neon clocks that you see at like a 50s diner. We'll use that instead. We'll hang up like a record.
Paint it white. So it looks like it's one of those fancy Manhattan lofts that people pay like $5,000 a month to live in or something.
Oh yeah, those one of those little with the brick walls.
Yeah.
Sturdy brick walls. Yeah, I love it. You know what? When I was like 16 years old, I remember just watching Friends and some other 90s sitcoms that kind of copied Friends, but kind of went with the same vibe. Mm-hmm. I was like, I can't wait to be like 23 and just live in my loft apartment in New York City.
I know, right?
Life's going to be great. Yeah. It never happened.
Never happened.
But I don't know. Still dreaming of that loft life. That's the name of my
Uh,
sitcom. My throwback to the 90s sitcom, Loft Life.
Never happened. We never got. I don't know about you, but I haven't gotten to live in an apartment with the exposed brick walls yet either.
No. I mean, they exist. They're out there. But you know what? They're in demand. You know, people get one. They don't want to give it up. They're like, I ain't fucking moving. Yeah, I'm keeping this thing. I'm going to have my kids in here. This is going to be my romper room.
I'm going to live in this building till I die, just so I don't have to give up these exposed brick walls.
And then I'm going to be a demon and haunt the next set of friends group that lives here.
Dude, this is why you get haunted.
Probably. Come on, Truman. He's got all his toys under my desk, and they're all the exposed wires. There we go. All right, play over here. Sorry for Truman Corner. All right, ROC.
Mm-hmm.
We selected a season 1 episode. Oh, hold on. One thing I want to point out about the show. So, season 1, I guess ratings were all right. It did all right. Season 2, they decided that every episode of the season they were going to perform live.
Yeah, see, that's what I remember about ROC, is that it would be, like, promoted as this live show.
Like, anything could happen.
And, yeah, and I don't think I ever actually, like, maybe it was still on or something, but I don't think I ever, like, actively watched it.
It was on, so the show was on a Sunday night, and I think this year that it's on, The Simpsons weren't on Sunday yet, but I think the following season, I think The Simpsons popped up on Sunday.
Yeah, like, I feel like it was, like, right after a Simpsons episode.
Yeah. And so I just kind of, like, foxed it the whole night. You know, I'd watch, like, The Simpsons, and it was, like, In Living Color, maybe, then Married Children, and then, like, ROC was on after Married Children, and I just kind of see what they're up to. I'm like, oh, I'll just see what the show's about, see what's going on in Rockland. Mm-hmm. It's funny because that's the name of my hometown, my high school, Rockland High. All right. Yeah, so they did the whole second season. They did it live. All 4 leads of the show, they were all stage actors, so they were just, they, like, never fucked up. They were, like, known for just being, like, really good at it.
Yeah, this is, like, that's the world they came from, so they were like, okay, let's go live. We got this.
Yeah, there was I guess Charles S. Dutton and the 3 other cast members, they were, like, all in the same, like, play together for years or something. That's why he kind of, like, he cherry-picked this group, he pulled them all together, and then they just created, like, recurring cast around it. So, like, over the years, you had, like, Garrett Morris was on it, Jamie Foxx is in some episodes, Tone Loc, Kim Fields is in some episodes. She plays Eleanor's younger sister. Kim Fields' sister's even in some episodes. She's in season 3.
Okay.
Wild stuff. Oh, and hold on, the show was only on for 3 seasons, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. Yeah. I said 4 earlier. Sorry, guys. All right.
Gosh, Patrick.
Yeah.
How could you be so wrong?
And I was right. It was 91 through 94. All right, so
okay,
we picked a season 1 episode 17, The Stan Who Came to Dinner. Yeah, The Stan Came to Dinner. So this is ROC's boss at the garbage facility, Stan Mason, played by George Wendt. Oh yeah, becomes his constant companion after Mrs. Mason, played by Rhea Perlman, throws him out. Ooga. So we're not. It's January 19th, 1992, Sunday night. This episode aired. So we're like the season before the last season of Cheers at this point.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, this is before. This is season 10 of Cheers.
All right.
Before Lilith leaves Frasier and all that stuff.
So Cheers is still like a bankable show at this point. It's still hot. I mean, it always was a bankable show. Let's be real. I don't know. I guess just bringing over 2 stars from Cheers onto the show. I just kind of maybe a little ratings booster. I'm guessing they probably like filmed on the same lot or something as Cheers, is my guess.
I don't know. I didn't see anything about it.
I tried to look. I couldn't find anything. That's the only other reason I can guess is that, both of these actors were available. They took a week out of their schedule because, it takes probably like about a week to film a sitcom, right?
Well, yeah. Each sitcom takes a week. It's, the first day is the table read, and then the second day is the start of rehearsals.
Okay.
And throughout that period of time, there's script updates and changes and all that stuff. A lot of sitcoms will do like a Monday table read and a Friday tape. I remember like The Big Bang Theory would do like something funky, like a Wednesday tape and a Thursday table read or something.
Whoa.
Like theirs was different.
Whoa.
But yeah.
Wild times over at CBS Studios. All right, so I was thinking, I was trying to like line up, is there like maybe like a Norm or Carla light episode around this time of Cheers? Maybe, I don't know, they're on sabbatical or something. I don't know, I kind of like looked through the Cheers summaries around time, and I couldn't see anything that indicated that, like, like Norm left town to go to the, go visit his sick mother or something, and like Carla had like take her kids to a baseball game or something. I don't know, I couldn't find anything.
Carla and Norm were always there.
My guess, this is my hot guess. So George Wendt kind of has a big presence in this episode. My guess is they just, maybe like Norm would just did a couple stool scenes at Cheers.
Yeah.
And a majority of his workload that week was on Rock. Rhea Perlman just kind of is like in it at the end of this episode. She just kind of pops in at the end. So I feel like, she could have just taken off her Carla costume, just threw on that hot red dress that she wore at the end of this episode, just filmed her scenes real quick, and then just like went back over, threw on her little like waitress get up, and finished her scenes.
Here's the thing. I'm going to guess that this happened on a week that Cheers wasn't filming.
Yeah, I mean, most likely, but I don't know. I just like this idea of like
you have it all complicated, and
I just like this idea of Rhea's over at the Cheers set. They're like, cut, and she just like rips off her Carla costume. She like runs into her little like dressing room, changes into the Mrs. Mason getup, runs like across the hall to the Rock set, does her scenes, and then they yell cut, and she runs back over, kind of like a Jack Tripper on 2 dates at the same time in his apartment.
Oh my goodness, Patrick. Patrick, your imagination is wild.
The people between the two shows don't know. They don't know that Rhea and George are doing this. So they're like, where's George? And they're like, I don't know. He must be like, George just said he had to go to the bathroom, and he brought a newspaper with him, so he's probably going to be in there for a while. And they're like, all right, we'll just film Woody's scene next.
Oh my god.
We'll just work around it. We'll come back when George gets out of the bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
And like, Ted Danson's covering for George. Oh, it's great. I love it. You know what? We're going to fanfic it. We're going to do the week that George and Rhea did Rock and Cheers at the same time, and the cast of Cheers had to cover for them. It's going to be on the fanfiction section on saltyrockmedia.com. Check it out. All right. Any more comments on that before I go into this night in television?
I think you're insane. That's my only other comment.
Okay, but hold on. I think, I always say I got a hot night of television. I think I might have actually found, like, one of the hottest nights of television. This is, like, a top 5, I think.
Alrighty, let's hear it.
All right, it's a Sunday night. It's January 19th, 1992. It's an election year. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got George Bush, we got Clinton gearing up to battle each other on the campaign run. But we're kind of before that. They're probably still trying to figure out who the Democratic nominee is going to be. We're still probably trying to figure that out, right?
Yes. This would be primary season.
Right.
So we are at the point where New Hampshire and Iowa have probably happened, or about to happen.
The caucuses.
Yeah, we're in that.
Is it the caucus?
Okay, Iowa is the caucus.
The Iowa caucus.
And New Hampshire is the first, primary.
As being a Massachusetts resident, I always heard about the New Hampshire primary, and then I would hear that, I remember being like 11 years old and hearing the word the Iowa caucus, and I would just like giggle. I'm like, hey, caucus. All right.
I think most people do that when they hear caucus.
I still do. Not gonna lie. All right. You ready? You ready for ABC? You want to start things off with the alphabet, our boys at ABC?
Yeah.
All right.
What's happening on ABC this night?
Things kick off with, I wouldn't call it my favorite show, but a show that I dipped into here and there. You said, you don't really have any memory of it. Any hot guesses? It's 7 p.m. It's a 7 p.m. slot tonight.
Life Goes On.
Oh, yeah. Life Goes On. I think we're at the end of Life Goes On. I think it was around, the following season's probably the final one.
Yeah, it sounds about right because we're a couple years before Kelly Martin joins ER as Lucy.
And then following Life Goes On, we get a hot hour back-to-back. Probably one of the funniest hours of television ever. Any hot guesses?
America's Funniest Home Videos and America's Funniest People.
You got it, girl. You got it. You got 2 points. 2 points on the board.
It's nice to actually get points for something.
Yeah, 9 o'clock, the 9 o'clock hour. ABC's Sunday night movie. Tonight, one night only. She Woke Up. You ready for this?
Ooh, yes.
All right, it's when I clicked on the link, the genre was women in peril was the genre, so shout out to that genre. When a wealthy society woman awakens from a coma caused by a murder attempt, she struggles to identify her attacker, suspecting various family members. She is then forced to kill her husband as he plots to finish her off. Ooga. Ooga. Starring Lindsay Wagner, gal pal Lindsay Wagner, and David Dukes, the actor.
Yeah, Ben Savage was also in that film.
Oh shit, was he?
Yeah.
Was he Lindsay Wagner's child?
I don't know. It just says Andy.
Ooh, yeah. Shout out to Andy.
But he's in the top billed cast.
Oh, okay. When I looked at the cast list, I just kind of looked at it real quick, and maybe I just ignored his name. So this is like right before Boy Meets World, like a year.
Yeah.
You ready for CBS? Ready for the Tiffany Network, America's Eye?
What was going on the Tiffany Network?
Tick, tick, tick. 60 minutes, 7 o'clock. Ooh, yeah. Any guesses about 8 o'clock? Any hot guesses?
Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, yeah. Our gal pal, Angela Lansbury, just solving crimes left and right. And just making friends all around Cabot Cove of the world. Because, they put her on road trips here and there, right?
Yeah, every once in a while.
And then, hold on. 9 o'clock. We get the CBS Sunday night movie. You ready? You ready for this?
I'm as ready as I can be.
All right, tonight, against her will, an incident in Baltimore. In 1947, an uprooted small-town lawyer represents a woman wrongly imprisoned in a state-run mental hospital. Ultimately uncovers a fraudulent scandal and sues the state of Maryland. Starring Walter Matthau.
I love how you're like all deep and throaty, and then you're like starring Walter Matthau.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't picture Walter Matthau being in these like serious roles. I just picture him just being in these like jovial, jaunty comedies,
Mm-hmm.
Like Grumpy Old Men or The Odd Couple, Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, you ready for Fox? You ready for the Hot Night of Fox? This is a Hot Night of Fox too.
What about NBC?
We'll get to NBC. NBC's after.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going in order of my notes. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Fine.
All right.
Sorry.
7 o'clock. Things kick off with True Colors. Do you know this show?
I feel like we talked about it at some point.
We did. It's a sitcom about the trials and tribulations of an interracial couple. It ran for 2 hot seasons. I definitely have seen eps. I don't remember too much about the show, but I do recall that it stars a friend of the show, Norman D. Golden II, star of Cop and a Half, and a fellow member of Big Brother Twitter. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Norm. Yeah, call us, tweet us. Tell us what you've been up to lately. Ooga. Any hot guesses what's on after True Colors at 7:30?
No idea.
Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Parker Lewis, I love you.
And then in January 1992, The Simpsons must have been on a Thursday because it's in living color. Do what you want to do. We get at 8:30 Rock, The Stan Who Came to Dinner. We'll talk about you shortly. And then any hot guesses at the 9 o'clock hour or the 9 o'clock half hour?
Down the Shore, for all I know.
No, Married with Children. Sunday night, 9 o'clock.
I'm like, I don't know.
How about 9:30? What do you think was the comfy post Married with Children slot tonight?
No idea.
Definitely a show we've talked about numerous times.
Herman's Head?
You got it, girl. And then they had a rare 10 o'clock slot this night. You want to hear any hot guesses?
Tracy Ullman Show.
No, Get a Life, starring Chris Elliott. This was his like weird, kind of wacky, quirky, short-lived sitcom that was kind of funny. I kind of dug it. I'd love to find eps of that. Maybe we'll put it on the pod someday. Who knows?
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
You ready for a kind of boring night at NBC? And the night off, kind of Dudley.
Yeah, what's happening at NBC?
I mean, it's not too Dudley. It's got some. The 7 o'clock hour is good. So at 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:30, we get a Bob Hope special. The Bob Hope classics. I'm guessing they're just showing some of his old bits.
Okay.
Ooga. Maybe it's his birthday or something. I don't know. Who knows? Kind of random thing to throw out there, right?
I mean, honestly, that's probably what I was watching at 7 o'clock.
And I bet you were watching what was on at 7:30. The Torkelsons. Yeah.
Torkelsons. I've seen every episode.
Going Home first, and then the Torkelsons second.
No. It was the Torkelsons, and then it was Almost Home.
Almost Home. Okay. I always forget the order.
Yeah, because the first one's where she's got all the kids, and they're living in the house like they've lived in for forever, and she rents it out to the older guy. She rents out a room to the older guy. You know, they just have the wacky hijinks, and then the next season it's a new show, and like half the kids are gone. And she's living in like Seattle, and now it's a rom-com where she and Perry King are gonna get together.
Yeah, they just disappear. They just uprooted and left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird because I just remember like Torkelson Mania like around this time, and just for like a show that had a lot of buzz, it just didn't work. I don't know. I feel like there's something really going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about. We'll have to get into it when we do a Torkelson episode someday.
And, I'm going to be honest. I think I've actually mostly seen the Torkelson episodes because they aired on the Disney Channel later on.
Didn't they just repackage them all as the Torkelsons, though?
I don't know.
I feel like they did for some reason.
No, I don't think they did. I think... Or maybe it was the Torkelsons Almost Home or something. I don't know.
I just seem to remember that the Disney Channel just repackaged the show and just kind of redid it, recut it some way, made it more Torkelson-y like. Maybe they just threw in some of the older subplots from lost Torkelson episodes and threw it into Almost Home eps to make it seem like the kids are always there. Because, I don't know, I feel like disappearing kids would be kind of dark for Disney.
Disney can be pretty dark, though.
They can. Shout out to Disney, The Black Cauldron. It's like episode 99 of our podcast or something. Go back in time and listen to it.
Yeah. What was it? There was something... What was I watching? Oh, I was watching The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I was like, holy shit. I was like shook at the start of that movie when the one guy is about to throw Quasimodo into the well. I'm like, what the fuck?
What's the other one with Michael J. Fox? Is it Atlantis? The Lost City of Atlantis?
Atlantis.
That one's pretty pretty deep and dark too, a little bit. It's a little like action oriented.
I've been like watching a bunch of like Disney movies from that era of time.
That you missed?
As like Notre Dame, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Atlantis,
Tarzan,
Meet the Robinsons, and all that. Like, there's this period of time where I just hadn't seen all like the animated films, and I just watched them all on Disney Plus, and I'm like, these all kind of are not great. I think the one I liked the most was Atlantis. It was the one with the best cast.
Yeah. It did poorly though, and I think they were trying to I think what it was, we had that Renaissance, we had the Little Mermaid, we had Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, the Lion King, and everything was great in the world. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of like I don't know, like Pocahontas was okay. And then we had like Tarzan, and then the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I don't think they weren't these box office giants, though. They weren't huge.
They really weren't.
Will Smith was the king of that era. He had Wild Wild West, whatever he was dropping. So Disney was like, we want to make like more movies that appeal to boys more. So they kind of...
Yeah, there was Treasure Planet and Atlantis. Atlantis is way better than Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet sucked.
It is. Atlantis is a great movie.
Like, Atlantis, I will watch again. I will sit down and watch that again.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it for the pod.
But most of the movies from that era, no.
I don't know what it was in competition with that summer, but parents, they might have had they probably had the boy and girl in the family, and the girl didn't want to go see Atlantis, and the boy wanted to go see it, but so they probably settled on something else. Maybe there's some like other quirky, maybe Shrek came out that year, I don't know, who knows, but...
Something like that.
But it's a good movie, though. It just kind of got buried, though, and then we kind of got like a string of just really bad Disney movies. Pixar became the new kid in town. And Disney kind of had to regroup. They tried that, like, Princess and the Frog thing in the early 2000s.
Oh, that was another one that did not work.
I've never seen it.
I did not enjoy it. Like, I love hand-drawn animation. It just wasn't there for me.
The story wasn't there, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I kind of read the summary. I dig the vibe.
But because I love Tangled and I love Frozen. It has nothing to do with the animation. It's just, I like those stories. I enjoyed those stories better than... I think part of it is they'll take these small stories...
And expand them.
And then they try to expand on them. And they add too much, and you're just like, what am I watching?
Well, it's hit or miss. I mean, Or
they'll take something that's big, and they'll try to compress it down too much, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Because even, like, some of the ones that, like, people think are classics, I'm like, it's alright. It's okay.
Oh, yeah? Like, which ones?
Like, Sleeping Beauty, it's alright. It's okay. There's not much to the story, and they just kind of, like... made something out of it, and then we get like 2 spin-off series like from the last decade, the Maleficent sequels, and I'm just like, we don't need it. We
do not need Angelina Jolie as Maleficent.
No. Just gonna throw this out there now. But I don't know, I'm like trying to think of another one that just kind of... Sleeping Beauty is the other one that really comes to mind, to be honest with you. I'm just like, it's a basic story.
It didn't try to be more than what it was, though, either.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
True. We didn't get like a weird subplot or anything or something wacky.
Yeah.
We just got like some extra songs or something. I don't know. It's been a longest time. All right.
Okay, you need to go watch Sleeping Beauty later.
All right, we're gonna do Disney. We'll just do like a Disney corner in one of our Patreon episodes. How about that?
Yes, we'll do that.
All right. So follow us on Patreon.
And then Heather can tell you how wrong you are about something.
It's all right. You know what, Heather? Shout out to you. gal pal, friend of the show. You know what? Maybe school me on Sleeping Beauty. Maybe there's something I missed. Maybe you saw something that I didn't see. But you know what? I haven't seen Sleeping Beauty since I was like 11 years old. So what do I know? What do I know? I just didn't like it when I was a kid.
I've watched it like 3 times since Disney Plus dropped.
All right. You know what? Maybe I'll watch it tonight after I watch Constantine. Yes, I have a hot night of television lined up for me. All right. You ready to get into Rock ROC, what we're here for, the main event?
Did we finish? We didn't finish NBC, did we?
No. We got Hot Country Nights. Hot Country Nights, 8 o'clock. It's an hour of live country music. I don't fucking care. 9 o'clock, part 1 of a miniseries, Drug Wars. It's about a DEA agent, a Colombian drug lord, starring Dennis Farina. We know him from Law and Order, Crime Story, I think, and like that weird last season of Unsolved Mysteries. Overall, 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 Herman's Heads. I'm going to give this night a 5. I'll give it a 5. Fuck it. Why not?
I'm down with the movies on CBS and ABC.
Okay.
Which is, I was probably watching one of those.
You probably saw Walter Matthau in the commercial, and you're like, "Oh, it's Mr. Wilson. I'm going to watch that." I don't even think Dennis the Menace came out yet, so probably not. You probably weren't watching. You probably didn't say that.
Probably.
All right. Who cares? Let's just talk about Rock. What we're here for. We're like 40 minutes in. We're going to get angry tweets.
I want to see these angry tweets.
We've got a few corrections. We had a few correction stuff coming our way.
Yeah.
We had that whole like Fred Savage mishap of last month.
Well, I was like, when you said it, I was like, I remember being like, dude, I don't think so. I think you're getting that confused with something else.
Shout out to Sorayam. I think that's how I don't know how to say that person's name. But shout out to you for correcting me. We love you. New friend of the show, by the way. New friend of the show. Join our Patreon. You know what? Come if you can't afford it. Go in at like the dollar level, or whatever the low level.
It's not $1. I think it's like a $3 level is the lowest level.
What's it called? Like basic cable or something?
Yeah, basic cable.
Yeah, you can listen to our commercial corners. We get some hot commercial corners coming your way. Ooh, yeah, we do. We sure do.
Yes, we do.
We have like a whole hour in which we talk about
Don't even describe it because at this point it has already been posted. Because we're like recording a lot, dude. Because we're locked down. What else are we going to do?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the release schedule because we're doing commercial corners are like bi-weekly, right? They're bi-weekly.
Something like that.
I don't know. I honestly don't remember the order that we did them in, so I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? Go to patreon.com, look for a very special podcast, or just go in the show notes. The show notes has the hot link Houlihan. And for $10, for a whole $10, you can get all that, plus a trinket and our movie night podcast in which we go back to old movies from our childhood, teenage years, early 20s, and we decide if, you know what, do they hold up? That's the age-old question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're great. We did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we did House Sitter, I forget what else we did.
Don't worry about it, because, again, you're totally out of order.
It's all right. Definitely listen to the TMNT episode. We got some hot notes in there. Take us into the world of Rock Emerson, Charles S. Dutton, friend of the show, longtime pal.
Okay.
Star of what else is Charles S. Dutton in? I'm trying to think. He's been in a lot.
I don't know, but I know he was married to Debbie Morgan.
Oh yeah.
AKA Angie Hubbard from All My Children and Loving the City.
Port Charles.
Yes, where she played Ellen Burgess.
Charles S. Dutton was on Alien 3. I remember that. Okay. You know what? His filmography is like not that hot. I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm like,
yeah.
He has an uncredited role in Seven. He's in A Time to Kill. I guess that's pretty cool. A lot of it is a movie I've never heard of, or it's just like not that great of a movie. Mm-hmm. 2 episodes of Without a Trace. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, Charles S. Dutton. We still love you. We still like you. He's in an episode of The Sopranos.
Well, we know how I feel about that.
We do. I don't know, but you do, apparently.
I don't like mob dramas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Sorry. She's not a mob gal. How does the show open? How does this episode open?
So, Rock is at work, and he's in the locker room. Now, the majority of this episode
get a locker room talk.
Takes place in the locker room at work or the living room at his house.
Or that quick, 30-second scene at the bar.
Yeah, that's the only other place they go. But he's at the locker room. They're getting ready for their shift. And the boss comes in. It's George Wendt. And he's like, Rock, I want to talk to you. And he's like, oh, well, I gotta go do my route. He's like, I don't know why this guy wants to talk to me. And he's like, oh, I'll just have somebody else.
Fred,
do your route.
I don't know who Fred is, but they keep bringing him up.
Yeah, like, he's just one of the other garbage collectors.
Yeah, shout out to Fred, the unsung hero of this episode. Taking everyone's assignments.
Well, he's like, oh, what? And he's like, okay, great, Rock, you and I, let's talk. And Rock is like, what is going on?
Yeah, he thinks he's gonna get fired or something, laid off.
He's like, never really talked to this guy before. Like, it's that boss you have, but you don't really, like, interact with kind of thing.
Yeah, all right, this is the way that I figured out. So, like, I'm guessing this is like a 2-floor building. You got, like, the first floor, which is just the locker rooms and the garage where all the trucks are. Maybe, like, a little, like, lunchroom. Then you have, like, the second floor. It's probably just, like, it's probably not even like a whole floor. It's just, like, an office that overlooks it.
Yeah.
And George Wendt's up there. Stan Mason, I think his name was.
Yes.
And he never comes down. He never comes out. He never, like, mingles with the crew. He probably has, like, supervisors below him that he gives his orders to. He barks his orders at them. And then Stan just sits up in his office and feels, I don't know, he probably, like, you know, talks to other local garbage collectors all around town, the other offices. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, they talk about garbage. I don't know, like, what does a garbage collector manager do?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But
I was thinking about this. I was like sitting on my couch last night at like 2 a.m., a little buzzed, just laying on my couch in my underwear, just like watching this on a laptop, like grainy screen. It's on like a grainy screen. Like, what does this guy do? Like, what's his like day-to-day assignments, his tasks? Like, what does he do all day?
Yeah, like...
Does he write checks? Like, what?
Yeah, so...
He doesn't take phone calls, I bet.
Does he assign the routes? Does he, like, deal with the irate ladies who call when their trash can isn't placed exactly where they want it?
No, I feel like there's, like, 2 or 3 people that field the calls. There's probably, like, a lady who's worked there for, like, 40 years.
Yeah.
And then she's got her 2 underlings that, like, field phone calls all day.
Yeah.
But they're on the first floor. They have like a little annex, I bet. I bet you they have a little annex in the corner.
But either way, this is not a guy that Rock, like, deals with in any way, shape, or form.
No,
like,
zero capacity ever. You know what? He
like,
probably did the job interview, and that was it.
Yeah, like, he's, like, met this guy, like, maybe 3 times. Job interview, 6-month review, and, like, the Christmas party.
Yeah, they had like a hot Christmas party one night, and maybe George and Stan were like at the bar together at the same time, and they did shots together, and Stan's like, oh man, we need to hang out more often, and Rock's like, yeah, totally, and they never talked again.
And so Stan sends Fred off to do Rock's route, along with Fred.
Yeah, poor Fred.
Because he's going to basically take all of Rock's day to talk about how his marriage is over.
Yeah.
His wife has kicked him out of the house, and he needs advice. And Rock is just like, why the fuck are you coming to me? Why are you here, man? Like, I don't know you. And it's like Rock is like the only other married guy that Stan could find, apparently.
This is the way I see it. Without spoiling why Mrs. Mason left Stan, we're gonna get into it, and then we'll talk about that after. So my guess is Stan the Man Mason. I gather that he spends a lot of time at the office. You know, he just hangs out there. He gets up early. He probably gets up at like 4 a.m. Yeah. He has his little Folgers cup of coffee. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. He hops in his, he probably drives like a pickup truck. So it's 1992. He probably has like an older car, like an old classic truck. Drives to work, gets out, just goes, hangs out in his office. He probably has a coffee maker in there, just starts it up, pours himself another glass of coffee, reads the paper that he picked up on the way to the office. Just kind of like chills for like 2 hours. Everyone else is just kind of like coming in and doing their thing. They're like prepping for their routes. The ladies downstairs in the annex, you know, they're doing their thing. And he just kind of like chills in the office. Maybe he watches like morning television. He's watching the news.
He's watching Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah, he just really gets into it. And things aren't too hot at home. Things are too hot at home. So then when he's done, I feel like he kind of has some... You know what? I feel like they probably cherry-picked him as the actor because he's kind of like Norm-like in a way, too. He probably goes to the bar after work, drags his feet. He doesn't get home till like 8 or 9 when Mrs. Mason's starting to like settle in. She's like in bed now, in bed with her book, in bed with her Danielle Steele novel. And that's when Stan comes home, and then he just like chills on the couch, watches the last hour of, I don't know, the game, whatever whatever game is on that night, and then the news, and maybe watches a little bit of Carson.
Yeah.
And then finally when Mrs. Mason checks out, he just rolls up, takes a shower, rolls up to bed, and does it all over again. I feel like that's the Mason tradition. That's my guess. I don't know.
The vibe you get?
Yeah, that's the vibe I get from him. But
Okay. Do
you see it? That's kind of like what I got from that 30-second conversation he has with Rock.
Yes, wow, you're way into this. Wow.
Yeah, I looked into a lot of it. It's 2 a.m. I was buzzed. Had a little bit of buzz going, so I was really picking it apart.
Yeah, I was trying to fall asleep at 2 a.m.
All right, sorry, girl. Sorry for sending you hot text at 2 a.m. saying, "Hey, doesn't the Emerson living room look like the All in the Family living room?" And you're like, "Go to bed."
I am trying to sleep here.
Not today, Satan.
Before I have to figure out which character I am from whatever show Instagram has in for their stories.
Okay, so we get all this going on. So Rock's like, "All right, so what happened? What happened?" And he's like, "Oh, I went to a garbage collector convention, which is a thing. And I met some lady and had an affair with her." And Rock's like, "Oh." Yeah. Stan's in tears. Stan's breaking down. He's crying. He knows he made an awful mistake. He's like, "Oh, fuck." He's like, I was at the garbage collector convention. I was horny. You know what it's like. You're just surrounded by garbage collector managers. We all have these god complexes. And then we're all men. We're mostly men, but I don't know. Apparently there's a lady garbage collector manager somewhere, and she's probably hot. I don't know. She's this down to earth hot girl. I'm picturing a Heather Locklear type, maybe Courtney Thorne Smithish.
Oh my gosh.
She's kind of like a vixen. She just comes in. She's like, "Hi, I'm a lady garbage collector." And George Wendt's like, "Oh shit! You know what? I haven't been this aroused in 6 years." And I don't know. They just went at it. They had it. They had a hot night at the Super 8 Motel or Motel 6, whatever it is, and had a fun night. And Mrs. Mason found out about it, and she threw his ass up.
Well, because he confesses.
Is that what happened? I kind of missed that.
Yeah, he confessed to her.
I guess good for him, right? Yeah. Good for him for feeling guilty. Shout out to him. He gets a check.
And then...
Gets a check mark.
She kicks him out, and he, latches the hell onto Rock. He takes Rock to lunch... And they go to, a sort of fancy restaurant, and Rock just orders, a pizza. Yeah,
they have, it has 3 forks, a spoon, and a knife all on the table, that kind of place.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Sounds kind of fancy to me. I don't know. I usually only go to, a 1 fork. I'm a 1 fork kind of guy.
I'm I go to the place where you get the silverware if you need it.
Oh, you gotta ask for it at the counter?
It's can I have a knife and fork?
It's not the pre-rolled in the napkin. It's probably already laid out in the proper place.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, I miss restaurants.
I know. Come back to us, restaurants. We need you. At this place, I'd even go to a fucking Applebee's. If, they told me, right now, Applebee's is open, I'd fucking hop down there and get their fucking microwave frozen food in a heartbeat.
Get some nice...
I just want some fucking chicken fingers brought to me by somebody else. That's not me.
Hot mozzarella sticks.
Oh, yes. Ooh, you know what? I might go to Sonic after we record to get some Mazza sticks.
I have some in my fridge left over from last night from Fat Shack.
Ooh, the Fat Shack. Front of the show. Yeah. Sounds like my kind of place.
Oh my god, Patrick, it was so good.
So, hot scoop. Stan's been staying at the local YMCA.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of over the YMCA. He didn't have a good... What's it you have a good time. You have a... hot shave. He didn't have a good time. He didn't have a hot shave.
I mean...
He's trying to get out of there, so...
Does the YMCA even do this anymore?
I don't think so, to be honest with you. I don't know.
I think if they do, it's in, big cities.
I'm gonna throw this up there. I have never been to a YMCA, so I don't know what the fuck is going on in there.
You've never been to a YMCA?
Not once. I've seen a YMCA. I've driven by them. I've been told about them. I know where one is, but I've never actually stepped foot inside one. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Have you been to a YWCA?
I don't even know what that is. Is that just a Y without the M? YMCA without the M?
It's the women's version.
Ooh, ladies Y. No, I've never been to that either.
Oh my gosh. Wow, because, okay, so, when I was a kid, I went to the Ys all the time, because I took, dance classes at the YWCA. I had, summer camp stuff at the YMCA. There's, events at the Y that we would go and do. I think, yeah, I spent definitely, I think most of the things I did were at the YWCA.
Okay.
but like we had both in town.
Okay, so I didn't have a YMCA in my
So-
town. You had to go like a few towns over to go to a YMCA. I did all my swimming lessons at a friend's pool. She hired somebody, and
Okay.
I didn't take dance lessons. The camp class that
No ballet.
no
tap.
no the
no
camp
jazz.
class that I went to. The camp class I went to was like at like Hearts of Park. It was like an outdoor, like little woodsy place. Yeah, that's it. And then, I never went to a Y. Just never had the opportunity. There's a Y near me in Myrtle Beach that's like not too far from me. I drive by it all the time, and
Wow.
I hear great things about it. But I'm just like, not for me. I guess. You know what? It's piqued my interest. So maybe when the quarantine ends, maybe I'll get like a day pass, go check out the Y, see what things are going on. Maybe I'll try to go have a good shave.
Like they have classes and stuff you can take.
Can you take improv classes at the Y?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Well,
Maybe. Yeah, because like, okay, so we had the Y system where I grew up, and we also had a rec center system. So we had like both. So like I did one
okay.
summer, I did like day camp with the Y, and then the rest I did like the rec center sort of thing. Because the rec center was like free.
Okay.
And you could just go if you wanted. It wasn't like your parents paid a bunch of money and you like have to go every day and get trapped on the bus because the girl who sat next to you would not let you get up out of the seat when you were at your stop. Totally happened once.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to throw this up there. So, in my town, there was a school. It used to be like a middle school or something, and it closed down. And they converted it into kind of like a youth center. So that's where you had a lot of the stuff. So, like, if you wanted to join a basketball league, that's where you went. If you wanted to, I was in a play. I was in like a Sherlock Holmes play. So I went there. So, like, it wasn't a YMCA, but it was, I don't remember what it was called, but I went there. I guess that counts, right? But it was for kids. It was like youth commission. That's what it was called.
Yeah, I remember like when I was going into high school, the old Aircast building was getting turned into a youth center because my brother would go there.
Ooh, Kat Halstead at aircast.com, your 1998 email address. Hot
Yep,
scoop.
remember
Hot scoop.
that.
2008-ish, before you reconnected with me on Facebook, I was trying to find you, and I sent an email address to that, and it bounced back to me.
Yeah, because
And then you found me on Facebook.
yeah, I don't even remember how I found you. I think I found you through Steven.
I don't remember. No, you found us both at the same time, because we all kind of like friended each other. And then like I didn't talk to Steven for a while. He just like friended him, and I was like, he's kind of weird. And then I was like, oh, you know what? He's just like me.
It's so funny is because I think I talked to Steven. Like Steven and I think we were always kind of connected.
Yeah.
We just didn't really talk. Like, because I think we were friends on MySpace and stuff too.
Yeah, I did. I deleted. I was on MySpace for a little while. Then I deleted it, and then I was like, I'm not going to do any of this stuff. And then like I just was like, all right, I'll just join Facebook. And then you found me, and here we are today doing a podcast about rock.
We are
Talking about YMCA's. Who would have thought? All right.
okay.
I gotta go pee real quick. We're gonna play the Patrick is Peeing song, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the next event.
Patrick is peeing. Patrick is peeing. Patrick is peeing.
Sorry about that. My phone rang too. Work was calling me and asking me if I'd be okay with going on call tomorrow, and I was like, sure.
I see you have iced tea.
All right. Just poured myself another Fresca, a nice hot Fresca, cold Fresca.
Are you drinking Fresca or iced tea?
Fresca.
Oh, okay. I'm just drinking Lipton iced tea.
So, where were we? Rock. We're just kind of bouncing all over the place.
Yes, you are going off on these crazy, insane tangents.
Hey, you know what? It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. People love it. People dig it. They like our young adult adventures.
Rock, as a thank you for buying him lunch, invites Stan over for dinner. And of course, he doesn't tell his wife about this until he gets home. And, like, she's just getting home from work, too, so she's just about to go into the kitchen and, like, throw together dinner. And he's like, oh, hey, honey, I invited my boss to dinner. And she's like, bitch says what?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck you, Rock, for doing that, because Eleanor, she's a working girl. She's out there, she's hustling and bustling, working these long shifts. She's on her feet all night.
Yeah.
She just wants to come home and make something really quick. Like, you know what? I just want to throw on, like, maybe, like, 2 Hungry Man dinners.
Maybe 3, because Pop is there, too.
Oh, yeah, and Joey, so maybe 4. So she just wants to throw them in. And like then I was like thinking, I'm like, what kind of... So Ella's a night shift worker, so she's doing this all before she goes to work, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
I think in this one she was coming home from work.
Okay. I was just reading her Wikipedia page, and it says she's a night shift nurse, so I was like kind of thinking... like,
Though sometimes they get put on the day shift, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I switch with somebody every now and then, so...
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, you know what? Joey's freeloaded ass is just sitting on his fucking ass all day playing his trumpet. That motherfucker can get up, make fucking dinner for all fucking 4 of them. Mm-hmm. Ella just wants to go to work. She's gonna have to like wipe ass all night and I don't know, deal with sick patients. Like, you know what? Give that bitch a break. Like, let her just chill. Like, let her sit on the fucking sofa, watch Oprah.
Yeah.
Fucking maybe the 5 o'clock rerun of something. I don't know. Different Strokes. I don't know what was on at 1992 at 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Facts of Life. Who knows? Let her do that shit. Let her chill. Because you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. I work nights. I don't want to fucking get up and make a big ass fucking meal. I just want to just like, I wake up at like 3. Mm-hmm. I just kind of like lounge around on the couch, play on my phone, record podcasts with Cat Halsa, the author, and then I'm just like,
yeah.
I just want to chill, maybe just have a light dinner. I don't want to do stuff for other people, because I'll be doing stuff for people all night. So I'm like, no, fuck you guys.
Okay, so I work late afternoon, early evenings when we're not in lockdown or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't come home at, like, sometimes I don't get home until 11 or midnight, depending on, like, what I'm doing at work that night. So I'm not going to come home at 11 o'clock at night and cook up one of my HelloFresh meals. I use those for the nights when I'm home, you know?
Yeah. Eleanor, Queen Eleanor, she needs to just revolt, just get out of there, gather up her gal pals, and just have a fucking hot ladies' night. Maybe get the idea just to fucking leave all these fucking buffoons behind.
Well, here's the thing. So, like, Eleanor's like, okay, I guess, like, she's making meatloaf, so that's something that's easily stretchable.
Yeah, true. You just add some oatmeal or something to it.
You, like, add breadcrumbs or oatmeal or crackers.
Yeah.
And you just make sure, like, there's a decent sides, you know, like, you just take out that extra bag of frozen broccoli or whatever.
I don't know. I kind of just sometimes just make meatloaf and I just throw in, like, tater tots or something.
Yeah.
I'm like a basic bitch over here. I'll just fucking piecemeal shit together. People are like, oh, like, what did you do for dinner last night? And I'm like, I had tater tots and a frozen patty that I reheated.
Meanwhile, I'm over here, like, making bruschetta chicken and stuff from HelloFresh.
Look at you. You know what? I thought about HelloFresh in it, but that shit would just sit in my fridge for like 4 days. So I was like, yeah, forget it. I don't care. All right. So, yeah. So Eleanor finds like the shocking revelation that she's got to make an extra plate. She's already going to make fucking 4 plates. Now she's going to make 5.
And she's already, like, pissy about this because he's, like, just telling her, like, just as she's about to go in the kitchen. And then she's like, well, why'd his wife kick him out? And, like, Rock tells her because he cheated. And she's just like, oh, hell no.
He comes in the house. He, like, shows up, like, a minute later. He just, like, walks in the house. Motherfucker.
He gets very comfortable. Around all of them. Very quickly. He is like that guy who you just like
very quickly
talk to outside of your apartment because you feel sorry for them, and the next thing you know, they're just sliding through your door, eating all your food. Thanks, Kramer.
My favorite part of the episode, though, is when Stan the man first shows up. He first shows up on the scene. He arrives. He's like crying. He's whimpering. Eleanor's like, oh, you know what? Like, you know, you sound like you're remorseful. You know, you didn't mean to do this. I understand it. And then she looks at Rock and she's like, you better not fucking do that, though. If I fucking catch you doing that.
Yeah.
And then she looks back over at Stan and she's like, I think, you know, you deserve a second chance. But not you, Rock. Not you, Rock. So don't fucking think about it. Don't think about... You're not going to any fucking garbage collector conventions. No.
You're already bringing home trash you find on the street.
Yeah, got these fucking trinkets all over the house. Ugh. Little fucking cuckoo clocks and stuff. Mm-hmm. I love it. So they get to the end of the dinner and like Stan's just like, oh, well, you know, it's like late. I don't, you know, all the cots at the Y are probably all taken up. I guess it's going to be like a shitty night on the cold floor. So now Rock's like, well, I guess you can stay the night. You know, you can sleep on the couch because, you know, all our rooms are occupied. Our 4-bedroom fucking brownstone apartment's already all occupied.
Yeah. Your
fucking sorry ass is got to sleep on the couch. He's like, you know, I'm okay with it. So he spends the night. It's the next day. They go to work, and Eleanor is just like, all right, you know, he's going to call his wife today, right? He's going to call up Mrs. Mason.
Yeah.
Patch things up, right? And Rock's like, oh yeah, like, he'll do it. Don't worry about it. Things by like 5 p.m. Everything's gonna be wavy gravy by 5 o'clock. And no, like he's back at the door. He's like back up. He shows up. He slides in, and he's like, "What's for dinner tonight, Ellie?" And she's like, "What the fuck?"
She's like,
"You again,
Rock? What did you do, or what did you not do?"
Yeah. So she pulls him over to the side. All right. So we kind of like cut out an important scene here, a key scene. The reason why that Stan the Man liked Rock was because Rock was a straight shooter. Rock just like told it as it was, and ever since Stan the Man came, this like constant companion, Rock kind of like he had like lemon face. He didn't want to say anything bad.
It's that weird thing. It's because it's his boss.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like want to offend the guy and get in trouble and then like have a shit time at work kind of thing. So he's kind of like
get fired,
walking on the eggshells and all that.
Well, because I think even like when he said what he initially was talking to Stan the Man, and he just kind of like laid it out to him. He was like, "Oh fuck, I shouldn't have said that. What was I thinking?" Yeah. But Stan the Man's like, "Oh, like I like you. You're a straight shooter. You tell it how it is. I need you in my life." Eleanor was like, "No, Rock, you need to be a straight shooter again, because I can't deal with this day in, day out. I got things to do. We already have a freeloader in here." And even like Joey's like, "Yeah, the fuck, this guy ain't paying rent. Like he's just staying here."
Like even Joey's like, "Get this guy out of here."
There's like a funny line where like I think Eleanor's like, "We might just have to start charging him rent." And Joey's like, "Yeah, right. Like, you think?" And they all look at him. It's great. Eleanor, I can't remember. Is it Eleanor or Rock? They're like, "You know what? Maybe we should reach out to Mrs. Mason. Maybe we should invite her over."
I think it's Eleanor.
Eleanor's like, "We'll have a ladies' night here. I'll pour some wine. We'll watch 1992 version of The Bachelor."
No, that's not what she says. You will keep creating these scenarios in your goddamn head. No, she just wants to invite the woman over for dinner so that she and the husband make up and they get this guy out of her goddamn house. They already got one freeloader.
She invites Rhea Perlman over, Mrs. Mason. She comes over in this like hot red dress. We're like, it's hot, Mrs. Mason. Like Rhea Perlman is like an 8 tonight. She's like a hot 8. Would you say she's an 8? Maybe even a 9?
She is definitely not Carla at this point.
No. I was like, whoa, Rhea Perlman, like, look at you. So she shows up. She's like, "Hey, like, why'd you invite me here?" And they're kind of like, "Oh, like, your husband's been staying here." And she's like, "Oh, that fucking guy, like, that asshole." Then he shows up. He just walks in the door again. They kind of go at it. Stan and Mrs. Mason go at it. And she's like talking about like, "You know what? You disobeyed the vows, the sanctity of marriage. Like, I've had men like thrown themselves at me. Like, yeah, me. Like, look at me. Like, and I turned down like fucking like 10s, like models.
Yeah.
And like I could have had like all this like hot fucking sex. I could have had some. You don't even know. Like you do not know like my day-to-day activities. I'm at the grocery store. There's all these young single 20s walking around. They bump into me at the produce aisle.
Well, listen, somebody needs to teach these boys how to like find the right produce.
Yeah, that's her. She's out there. She picks up the eggplant. She knows her way around an eggplant. And they're just like, "Oh," and she's like, no. You know what? I'm not holding your eggplant. I'm throwing this eggplant in your little cart. You don't even have the cart. You have the little like carry thing because you're a fucking 22-year-old.
Yeah.
You don't have a family to feed. She's like, "Nope. You know what? I appreciate it. I still got it, but nope. I got George Wendt at home. He's a catch. He's a fucking catch. He's a garbage collector manager. He's the hottest guy in town. He picks up all your trash, all your boxes, all your bags, all your discarded food, whatever else you throw out there. We know your dirty secrets. We go through it."
Oh my goodness.
Stan's begging for forgiveness. And she's like, "You know what? I'll think about it. Just give me a night. Just give me a hot night. You stay here. Just one more. Eleanor, can you handle one more night?" Eleanor's like, "All right, I guess I can do one more night. You know what? It's already been 3 days. It's already been like 10 years of dealing with fucking Joey and Pops. Mm-hmm. I could probably swing another night with this bitch." So she leaves. She walks out the door. Stan's like, "Oh, nice. Like, I'm going to go back to I got my fucking big screen TV. The Super Bowl's next week. Old times. And I'm going to let you tell what happens next. This is great. This is fucking great."
Okay. Is this when she comes back?
Oh, yeah. She comes back. Baby come back.
Yeah, she comes back and, Stan opens the door. She comes in and she has got a hot, young, blonde stud with her.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god. I was like, whoa.
She's like, no, I don't need you anymore, Stan. I got this guy.
Yeah, chiseled fucking chin, chiseled looks, abs, tall blonde, blue eyes. Probably like, I don't know, probably a Gap model.
Yeah, like...
Tommy Hilfiger model.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I don't need that dick anymore. I got this dick. And she like walks out the door. She's fucking done.
Yeah.
Good for her. Fucking good for her. Good for you, fucking Mrs. Mason. Getting that dick. Getting that D. She got it. You know what? All those days she spent in the produce aisle, fucking schooling 22-year-olds on like how to like pick out the proper produce and don't get the ones that are on top because those are the dirty ones that everyone's touched. Dig back a little bit. Look at the expiration dates on the meats.
Yeah.
It paid off.
Yeah, well, then Rock finally tells his boss, he finally tells Stan, you gotta get out of here. You can't stay here anymore. You're done. The next day, Stan comes into the locker room and then Rock is like, I cannot deal with this dude. But Stan wants to talk to Fred. So he's now put all his attention onto Fred, and he has given Rock Fred's route as well as his own.
Yeah, Fred's now the hot commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fred's like, hey, the fucking boss is taking me off with some Greek.
Yeah.
We're going to a hot Greek restaurant. And Rock's like, all right, good luck to you, man. I'm going to go home and fucking just deal with the wrath of Eleanor because, you know,
yeah,
she had a fucking shitty 3 days. She had a shitty 3-day run, and, you know, now I'm going to get an earful. It's great. You know what? It's not like essential sitcom, but it's like just fun, quiet, normal sitcom shenanigans.
I was surprised at how like basic sitcom formatted this was.
I know, like there's some episodes of Rock that are very like politically driven, especially when they did the live episodes because they were talking about current events.
Yeah.
But this one's just kind of simple. It's just the guy's got to impress the boss. He doesn't want to be disrespectful to the boss. He's just going to be the yes man kind of thing, and just very simple plot, very simple breakdown, really short scenes. It's great. It's a fun little jaunty time through 1990 sitcoms, and we don't really get that anymore. We don't really get like shows of this simplicity anymore. Everything's like complicated now.
We really don't. Here's the thing. I want my sitcoms to be funny. I don't want them to be like we're so smart, we're so funny kind of crap.
I think you can have a good balance. Sometimes you just want a basic sitcom. Other times you want like a smart, funny show.
So, like, this is what I actually like watch when I watch TV. I watch The Connors. I watch The Goldbergs. I watch Schooled. I watch Single Parents. Like, the 5 most basic sitcom, like, and even they're not even like the most basic.
I will say, I've never seen Single Parents, but I watched a hot clip of it the other day, and it looked funny.
Wait, which clip was it? Was it Baby Smoke Monster?
Yes, the one you sent me.
Oh my god, I loved it. Okay, so Single Parents is by the same people who did New Girl, so it's got that kind of style.
Okay, and I love the New Girl. The New Girl just kind of... The New Girl kind of takes that simple sitcom formula and puts it into a single camera show.
Yes, I think you would love Single Parents if you actually watched it.
What were the other shows you said you watched? Schooled? I don't even know what that is.
It's the 90s spin-off of The Goldbergs.
Okay, alright. Not digging the Connors, though. You know, I'm just going to throw this out there. Not digging it.
We've talked about this before. With the Connors, I'm not thrilled with the direction they took Becky in. It doesn't feel genuine to the Becky we had. And I feel like there's so much focus on Darlene.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Darlene anymore.
But it's like, it's easy to watch. It's one of those shows that's easy to watch. You know the characters.
I know Roseanne is a piece of shit in real life. Just let me have 90s Roseanne. Just let me pretend that after 1997, none of her existence existed anymore. No, there's this apparent continuation. But I did, you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. I'm probably going to get a slam for this. I did dig the first Roseanne the new first Roseanne season. I really liked it.
Oh yeah, I really liked that too.
The first couple episodes of The Connors, I started to like Becky's direction. And then I'm like, nah, forget it. I don't care anymore. I'm out. I tapped out. Mm-hmm. All right. Any last minute thoughts on The Rock? Not The Rock, or just Rock?
No, because I think I already dropped the one hot scoop I had.
All right, on a scale?
Because I was like, oh, he was married to Debbie Morgan.
On a scale out of 1 out of 5, we're going to go with 1 out of 5 cheating bastards. How many cheating bastards would you give this episode?
I kind of want to go with 2.5.
Really? You going to go that low? I thought you'd be a little bit higher.
No.
What's your rationale?
I mean, it was really basic, but it wasn't anything like it was too basic, kind of.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It was definitely middle ground. This episode is definitely middle ground. I kind of like the dynamic. I kind of like the dynamic of the cast. I really feel like the cast just really meshed well together. I definitely got like a stage presence from them, the way they were acting. I love even like the argumentative scenes are great. Like I really felt, especially with the actress who plays Eleanor, like I really felt the rage. Like sometimes you watch these sitcoms and you have like the upset mom.
Yeah.
Like Jill Taylor, for example. Like, you know, Jill Taylor is upset all the time. And I was just like, oh, it's Patricia Richardson acting and she's upset. But I watched this episode of Rock and I saw Eleanor and like I really like felt like she was angry. Like she was actually like yelling like as an actress. And even like Charles S. Dutton. Like Charles S. Dutton is underrated, I think, as an actor.
Yeah.
He definitely deserves to be more. We know he can do comedy. We know he can do drama. We know he can do action. Like we just needed a Charles S. Dutton renaissance. Just put him in something great. I want like I could picture him. I want like a gritty crime drama, kind of homicide life on the streetish kind of thing, where it's a little elevated, a little bit more than Law and Order, where we get like really down to kind of the politics of why this crime committed. I could kind of see him in a show like that.
I could see that, yeah.
Charles S. Dutton, 2021, because 2020 is a bust. Throw him in something good. You know what? How about like Amazon Prime? Throw them in an Amazon Prime original.
Okay, but does anybody watch Amazon Prime originals?
I fucking do. I watch The Boys. I watch Mrs. Maisel. I watch.
Mrs. Maisel's the only one I watch, and I don't like watch it right away when it comes out. I haven't even seen season 3 yet, so.
Yeah, we talked about it a few episodes back. It's not as good, but shout out to Tony Shalhoub. Tony Shalhoub is the shining star of season 3 of Mrs. Maisel, and Alex Borstein, too. She's always great as the manager.
Yes.
Mrs. Maisel's manager. And Mrs. Maisel's good. You know what? The storyline's not as good, but the acting's great. They're 100% committed to it. I wish they put that energy into the Gilmore Girls revival movies.
Where were Rory's underwear the whole damn time? Why did you just buy new ones?
All right. Are you ready for next week? Next week is a gala. Next week is a gala of an episode. This is a big episode for us. This is huge. It's episode 194. And for episode 194, we're going back to, this is the second time we've done this show. I've been saying for like years we need to do this show again. And it's one of my favorite characters of all time. Like top 5 characters meets their demise. It changes the trajectory of the show, ends up canceling the show, but makes the show better? But worse at the same time?
It's this weird...
You're kind of like, oh my god, the show is so much better, and at the same time, you're like, oh my god, the show is so much worse.
Yeah, it's this weird, like, okay, there are aspects that just, like, go to shit because of this death, and then, there are things that thrive.
Yes.
And are re-energized because of this, so...
But before we get into that weird, like, 6 months of confusion, we're gonna go to the catalyst. Yes, the catalyst that caused it all. We're going to go back to the OC. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the OC, bitch. We're going to do it's a season 3 finale where Marissa Cooper dies. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We're just going to say it. She dies. So
like, if you don't know that already...
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Where have you been for, like, the last decade?
Yeah, Volchuk. What's his name? Volchuk is responsible.
Oh, God.
What's his name? Cam Giganut or what? Cam Gigner or something? I don't know.
I don't even remember. I don't remember. Like,
I can't wait to go back to this world. I'm due. We're both due for an OC rewatch. We know it, right? Yeah, we're due.
We're way due for this.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to go watch Ryan Atwood just pull Marissa out of the flaming car, and carry her with some like cool indie rock song playing. And he like lays her on the street. She looks fucking beautiful, by the way, when she dies. We're just gonna throw this out there. She looks fucking hot.
Yeah.
She's a 10. She died being a 10. Like hottest death ever.
Yes.
Good for you, Marissa Cooper, for dying hot. So join us next week when we do Marissa Dies, which you can find on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu, right?
I think so. I hope so.
I have the DVD, so it don't matter. I don't care where it is.
I'll figure out a way to watch it.
All right, where can you follow our hot adventures, our hot-ass adventures? The hottest adventures in town.
Super Hot Adventures are found on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. You can support us on Patreon at Very Podcast. And you have obviously found us some way, so subscribe wherever you are, if that's YouTube, Podcast Addict, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Continue to follow us.
That'd be awesome.
Follow us forever. You know what? We're just going to keep on going until you get fucking tired of us. We're going to be like 87 years old. We're going to be talking about fucking the Connors. I don't know what we'll be talking about when we're 87 years old, but
I don't know what we'll be talking about, but we'll be sitting in our little, like, Miami condo.
Old, elderly, just talking to the masses, or like 3 people. We don't care. We'll talk to anybody. And we love it. We love you. We love it. Follow us forever. And as always, girl, as always,
Bye!
watch the skies for... We didn't really have anything involved in the sky, but how about this? How about watch the streets for the dump truck coming by?
Okay, then.
I like it. I dig. I stand.